Around the world, people celebrate their culture and beliefs with all sorts of unusual and strange traditions. From rituals involving babies and cheese to ceremonies honoring monkeys and phalluses, these traditions demonstrate just how far we'll go to celebrate just about anything. Join me as we dive into the top 10 strangest traditions around the globe. The first entry on our list takes us to Spain, where the village of Castrillo de Murcia hosts El Colacho, or the Baby Jumping Festival. Dating back to the 1600s, this tradition began as part of the Catholic feast of Corpus Christi. Men dressed as devils, complete with bright yellow and red costumes, leap over babies born in the previous year who are laid on mattresses in the street. The leap symbolizes the devil taking away original sin and offering protection from evil spirits. It's a really cool blend of religious and local folklore, reflecting the community's deep faith and its clearly eccentric expressions. Now let's roll, literally, over to England for number 2 on our list. The Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling Festival. This 200-year-old tradition has its roots in pagan rituals celebrating the changing seasons, where villagers used to roll burning bundles of wood down the hill, symbolizing the return of spring. Somehow, eventually this evolved into chasing wheels of cheese down the impossibly steep Cooper's Hill. Injuries are so common that paramedics are always on standby. But that doesn't stop competitors who come from all over the world for the chance to claim their delicious prize, a glorious wheel of double Gloucester cheese. If you think Japan is all sushi and cherry blossoms, think again. Our tour of strange traditions takes us next to Japan with the Kanamara Matsuri at number 3. The Kanamara Matsuri, or Festival of the Steel Phallus, is held annually in Kawasaki, and its roots trace back to the Edo period, when sex workers prayed to a phallic deity for protection against sexually transmitted infections and misfortune. The festival has evolved over time to also celebrate fertility and safe childbirth. Today, it's a lighthearted yet meaningful event, complete with parades, phallic-shaped candy, and even giant sculptures carried through the streets. While it's definitely pretty funny, it's a reminder of how ancient traditions can adapt to modern causes, like raising awareness for HIV prevention. For number 4, we'll return to Spain, where we find La Tomatina, the world's largest food fight, held in the town of Buñol. The tradition began in 1945, when some young people attended a local parade that eventually descended into produce-filled chaos, with a frenzied crowd pelting each other with a toppled market stall full of vegetables. They began hurling tomatoes at each other, and the townsfolk loved it so much that it became an annual event. The week leading up to La Tomatina is filled with music, fireworks, and cooking competitions. But the real fun starts when 150 tons of tomatoes are unleashed, turning the streets and the participants bright red. At number 5, we meet the Dani tribe of Papua, Indonesia, who practice one of the more gruesome traditions we've seen. To mourn the death of a loved one, women would amputate the tips of their fingers. This practice is rooted in the belief that physical pain mirrors emotional loss, creating a tangible expression of grief. While the Indonesian government has technically outlawed the practice, which is probably for the best, it remains a reminder of how some cultures can channel sorrow into physical rituals. We'll skip northwest for number 6 to Lopburi, Thailand, where monkeys are more than just adorable nuisances. They're honored guests. The Monkey Buffet Festival was started in 1989 by a local businesswoman as a way to thank the macaque monkeys for bringing tourism to the area. Long before the festival, the monkeys were considered sacred due to their connection to the Hindu god Hanuman. Tables laden with fruits, vegetables, and sweets are laid out, and the monkeys happily feast, creating a chaotic but joyful spectacle. Pretty interesting way to get thousands of monkeys together in one place. We're off to Finland for number 7, where marriage and athletics come together in the wife-carrying championship. The origins of this hilarious competition are a little murky, but one popular theory ties it to a 19th century bandit named Herkko Rosvo Ronkainen, who apparently trained by carrying stolen women over his shoulder. Today, it's a lighthearted but competitive event, featuring various carrying techniques, including the Estonian style, where the wife hangs upside down on her husband's back. Aside from pretty awesome bragging rights, the winning couple wins their wife's weight in beer. Over in Denmark, New Year's Eve isn't just about fireworks, it's also about smashing dishes, and that's where we'll be for number 8. Families save their chip plates and bowls all year, then throw them at their neighbors' doorsteps as a sign of affection and goodwill. The bigger the pile, the more popular you are. Good place for an easily smashable plates business, I guess. It's a really fun mix of superstition and community bonding. Just don't walk around barefoot. Among the Tujia ethnic group of central China, tears are a sign of joy and respect, not just of sadness, and that's where we'll find number 9 on our list. The custom of a crying marriage in China has actually existed for a very long time, and was very common until the beginning of the 20th century. Though not nearly as popular as before, the Tujia people still view it as a necessary marriage procedure. Brides start crying a month before their wedding day, practicing what's called zhuotang. Each night, they weep for an hour, joined by their mother, sisters, and other women in the family. Over time, their sobs transform into a harmonious crying song. This ancient custom is said to symbolize gratitude to their parents and sorrow for leaving their childhood home. It's a bittersweet expression of love and tradition. We finally reached number 10, and in my opinion, one of the craziest traditions out there: the hanging coffins of the Philippines and China. Practiced by the Igorot people in the Philippines and the Bo people of China, this tradition dates back thousands of years. Coffins are carved from wood and placed high on cliffs, ensuring the deceased are closer to heaven. It also protects the bodies from scavengers. The tradition demonstrates a deep respect for the dead, and a certainly unique interpretation of what it means to ascend after life. And there you have it, 10 of the strangest and most fascinating traditions from around the world. From heartfelt rituals to downright bizarre competitions, these customs remind us how diverse and creative human culture really is. Which one would you want to experience or avoid entirely? Are there any I missed? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cool travel guides. Until next time, stay curious.